Hey everyone, I am Rashika Karki. I'm going to be working as a software engineer at Major League Hacking. Coming to how I even got into FOSS, I guess it started when I joined MLH Fellowship, which was back in 2020 or 2021. I can't really exactly recall. But at that point, basically when it came to like contributing to open source or just being part of that community, I just had a preconceived notion that I really need to be expert in this field to even start contributing or being a part of that community. I just became a part of that fellowship, got some amazing mentors, met some amazing folks who were really working in this field, and really started with my contribution there. I remember the first contribution that I did had comment that said like, hey, like you're not naming your variable right. At first I felt very like, I felt like, oh yikes, that's not the kind of comment you'd want to have in your first contribution. But then, with time, I guess it just really helped me to grow. And I guess you just get like free mentorship. So I was able to learn so much. And then I guess the reason why I'm still here is I've learned so much from this community, still am learning. And I guess it's just one way for me to give back by just being a part of, active member of this community. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And I was system administrator back in 1997, and in theoretical physics department where I did PhD in physics, and there I got the first contact to free software. My first task was installing SUSE Linux 5.1 on PCs, so that the people, everyone had a PC in their office with a Linux. And during this time, when I was system administrator, I learned more about free software. I read in magazines about it and about the contributions and how it all works, and also by the work itself. And I did my first contribution, but for a program named XCD-ROS to make it working in a network of many users. And this was really it was right away accepted, and this was my really first impression with free software. And we had also a printer there, laser printer, and when CUPS came up, I installed it, and it worked exceptionally well. And then I wrote a little printing dialogue, which was then my first own free software project. And this led to the invitation to my first conference in the middle of 2000, Linux Tag, and there I was invited by Mandrake Soft for a full-time job to take care of printing, to switch Mandrake Linux to CUPS. And that was the beginning of my amazing career, as I founded then Open Printing, and I made every distro using CUPS. And with this, I got the printing guru for all the free software. And so I was, since the early 2000s, leading Open Printing, taking care of printing, what I'm still doing today. And in the time I was working at Mandrake Soft in the beginning up to 2006, then at Canonical up to July this year, unfortunately only. And so for continuing Open Printing, I really would need help that someone would hire me, or sponsorship and so on. Yes, during the time, it was not only coding, it was a lot of community interaction, Google Summer of Code conferences and so on. It was really, I love this role, and I really want to continue with it.
Yep.
So hello everyone, I am Aryan Kaushik. I am a software engineer from India and also part of the UbuCon Asia Global Organizing Committee. So what started for me was in my early days when I was in high school, I was always wondering that if there's any alternative to this weird Windows system that we are currently using. And we learned about Linux, but was more about its terminal kind of thing which hackers use, and normal people should be staying away from this kind of thing. But later on, what happened was in my sister's college, it was mandatory to use Ubuntu for some compiler-related classes. So that's when I was given the task to get that installed on her system through the shop because she was in another city. And that's when I first started using Ubuntu 16.04. That really sparked a passion that, okay, there's something which is different than Windows, which I felt better usable. I found it nice, and I thought, okay, so there's an option apart from the Windows world, but I didn't dive that deep into it, but it sparked something at that time. Later on, when I was in my diploma doing that education, I thought, why not give it a try on the system? I was trying it in a VM, I was liking it, and it came to a point where I was using it more in a VM than my host system. So I thought it's very inefficient, why not just switch out the system? I did that, and it was a turning point for me. Later on, there was a GNOME extension which people were using, but the maintainer stopped maintaining it. And some people were asking for some features. I thought, well, I'm technical, I have done some course, why not put it to some good use finally? So I developed some features for them. They liked it, they said, I want this, I want that. Other people also started to ask for features. I forked it, gave them the features, and in time I became the maintainer. So I started maintaining that. I got more into GNOME, then I did my Google Summer of Code with GNOME Foundation. That's when I got the opportunity to present at GNOME Asia, Guadec, where I met Moro. He made me learn about LoCos, how LoCos work, what those are. I met with Youngbin through the Loco reboot efforts, where we organized UbuCon Asia. And it's just very natural progression which happened. And the reason why I still stay in the community is because of the people. The main reason for FOSS for me is it lets you learn. You can contribute to big software without joining the company or any kind of wall between you and what you want to do. And also the awesome people who teaches you a lot of things, treat you as part of a family, and don't really judge you for anything. And so yeah, that's my story.
So hello everyone, myself Upendra Prasad Neupane. So I'm in a tech community from since 6 or 7 years. So currently, professionally, I own my company called Kathmandu. It's a cloud consulting company. So yeah, I recently started that. So starting about my open source contribution. So during my bachelor, so as I already mentioned, I'm too active in tech community. So I was fortunate to lead different kind of tech community, founding different kind of tech community, including COSIS, iTech Karnali, AWS Cloud Club Nepal, and others. So I'm also contributing on different tech communities that are available in Nepal. So regarding the open source, so back in my college days, so we used to organize, Google Summer of Code related workshop or the information sessions, and we used to organize Hacktoberfest. And actually, I have a hands-on experience on OSM mostly, not in the OS part, but I have explored other part of open source FOSS part. So we were fortunate to map whole Karnali highway using OSM, collaborating with one of the organization from Philippines. So, and later on, I have been contributing on different tech community that including the event organized by Ubuntu Nepal, NOM Nepal. So yeah, I'm also helping current Ubuntu Nepal organizing this UbuCon Asia, which is happening first and the last time in Nepal, I guess. So yeah, that is all from my side. So yeah, the thing that is keeping me to contribute in community is the passion that other people, the energy that other people gives you, that resonate and provide you extra energy to do something better. And first and foremost, the networking is the best part of what we get from the community. And another thing is exposure. And also, I love to give back to the community. That is why I'm still contributing from since last 6 or 7 years. So yeah, that is from my side.
Yep. Thank you very much.
So when I was at Guadec, there was a boot of Ubuntu in 2023, if I remember correctly. And there was Moro. So Moro is the orange t-shirt guy you see at the Ubuntu boot today as well. So I met him, I talked with him about, okay, you are talking about Loco, what is Loco and all those things. So that happened, but it didn't start anything. Later on, after reaching India, I thought, well, there is no Ubuntu community here. I want to be part of one. and I want one to flourish in India. I already am working with Neupane for the Delhi region, and I was like, what's up for Ubuntu in India? So I contacted Moro. I was like, hey, I'm thinking of joining a loco for Ubuntu India, and what do you suggest? If there's anything, or should we start one? What do you think? He said that, okay, the Ubuntu India loco might be dead. Like it was dead, I don't know how many years before. And he said that you can restart it. We are using a new theme called Loco Reboot. We are rebooting the loco communities in each region. I was like, okay, I want to be part of that. So he made me join a Telegram group. We were discussing about Loco Reboot. I was talking about Ubuntu India, where Youngbin said that, hey, if you want to start Ubuntu India, why not host the next UbuCon Asia? I was like, okay, that's a challenge. First, I was not that excited about it because I hadn't hosted any event before. That would have been my first ever event. So I was a bit hesitant, but later I thought that, okay, it's a good opportunity. It's an opportunity where you can really combine the community. It's very easy to say to other people, oh, there's nothing in my region, nobody is doing anything, or there's no community in my region. But it's a different thing when you want to be the one who does this. So I was like, why not me? If nobody is doing this, why not I can start it? So we started Ubuntu India again, and we hosted UbuCon Asia last year, and it went great, I believe, but I would let the audience be the judge of that and the organizing teams. But yeah, that's how we got to UbuCon Asia, we got to Ubuntu India. Later on, after UbuCon Asia, I was so tired, I was like, okay, I will never do any other events. That is the first and last one for me. I can't handle this much stress. But in 2 months, I added another one in a release party for Ubuntu in Bangalore. So No Asia was happening in Bangalore in India, so I was like, why not combine the community together? It was my actually dream to have No Asia and UbuCon Asia in a combined event in Jaipur. The things didn't really come true. There were a lot of technical problems with that. But when No Asia was happening in India, finally, I was like, it's my chance to do this again. So I said, why not have a release party? And we did that there, and that also brought the community together because we were like, we have done one in the north side of the region. Why not do one in the south side of the region? Then we started to encourage other people to start more locos. We had many more requests coming up about, okay, I want to start one in Maharashtra, I want to start one in Rajasthan, in Jaipur, I want to start one in Bengal region. There were so many requests. We started entertaining that, and later I transitioned to the UbuCon Asia committee side. So now Ubuntu India is headed by somebody else. I have handed over the reins, and now I am working more in the UbuCon Asia side, organizing these events so that more locos can be found, and so that this doesn't stop. We want the train to be running, we want more people to be involved with it, and we want more communities to get together and say, why not me? Like, that's the main question they should ask.
The opportunity open source. It was the following. On for open printing, for printing, it is very difficult to find volunteers. Printing is not a very attractive subject matter. And so from back in 2008, I started to participate as a mentoring organization in the Google Summer of Code to find this way people for a developer to build up a developer community. And in the beginning, I did not get very many contributors, perhaps one, 2 or 3 per year. And in 2015, I'm doing, and every year I'm doing an open printing summit, where, together with the printer working group, a consortium of printer manufacturers and software industry. And there I met, in 2015 on an open printing summit, I met Avik Basu, who worked at Lexmark that time, and therefore he came to open printing. And he's at Lexmark in India. He's Indian and lives in Kolkata. And he started to look out at colleges and universities in India for students who could participate in the Google Summer of Code, who want to participate in the Google Summer of Code. and then he has checked the CVs, given them assignments of compiling cups, and so we did some, and so we did some selection, and with this way we got something like 5 or 6 good students every year for open printing, and this way we got once projects done, and second, every year one or two perhaps they stayed with us for longer, for example renovated the website or mentored in the next year, and so we got this way we got involved with Indian students, and Avik, he was already done a small meeting in Mandi with he traveled in 2019 to Mandi and made a one afternoon session to present open printing and to find more contributors. And then after that was the pandemic, and after the pandemic Avik came up, we should do such a meeting again, and then but I should be there also, and then Avik also told, now that he's engaged also in Zephyr, that one should perhaps not do just an open printing presentation meeting, one should do really a conference, and then I came up, we could do a CFP so that it's not only open printing in Zephyr, and this way the opportunity open source was born. The first time was in Mandi 2 years ago, and there I want to especially thank Akashan Kapoor because he was leading the on location organization. Unfortunately he did not make it into the room, and he has given here a talk about Scanniverse. With all this, he came to open printing also as Google Summer of Code student, and then we had done our first successful opportunity open source. Around 100 students of IIT Mandi attended, and we had one and a half days with one room and an additional workshop room, and a lot of nice sessions, and it was successful. And then we decided to make it an annual establishment, and we ran it in Kanpur last year, in IIT Kanpur, and we had perhaps 300 attendees, and 2 days with 3 rooms, 50 sessions, 9 workshops, and this year it will happen again in IIT Kanpur again next weekend. So save the date and come over to India for the next weekend, because then we have the next opportunity open source. And our intention with the opportunity open source is to make people aware of free software, to show them free software projects, how this all works, how they can contribute. And we were really successful with it. After the 2023, the first edition in Mandi, I had 11 contributors at open printing, and we had again 11 contributors at open printing this year, influenced by the first opportunity open source in IIT Kanpur. And so we are going on, and next weekend in IIT Kanpur again is the next edition.
For sure, I'll keep it short. So I'm going to talk from CNC of Kathmandu perspective. I realized I forgot to introduce that I am currently leading CNC of Kathmandu chapter here in Nepal. So something that we're really trying to do, and something that's really close to my heart, is just providing more mentorship to folks who really want to contribute to open source, but cannot, just because they dread that it's all about like digging into this Lars code base and trying to like find a way, and all of that, all the things that I went through when I wanted to contribute. I think just having that mentorship really helped me get into that. So that's something that I really want to work on, and I'm sure all my team in CNC of Kathmandu really wants to get into that. So I think something that we're really planning very soon. So keep I guess we will be posting that in our social handles very shortly. But for this Hacktoberfest, we're planning to like host one event where kind of like a workshop where we'll try to connect you with mentors and kind of like help you contribute to open source. So that's definitely coming up. But we have not yet started thinking about KubeCon. But yeah, I mean, that is definitely something we
Definitely.
have in cards. Not immediately, but maybe definitely someday.
Definitely.
I will answer this question in a two part. First, in open source contribution part, later on contributing on the tech community part. So regarding the contribution in the open source, so I have seen a lot of folks who contributed on different GSOC challenges, and later on they get good opportunity working on a different tech companies in Nepal. So definitely, so the first thing you will get contributing in the open source community is the mentorship yourself. So if you are new to open source community, so you can start with anything. Maybe if you are not interested in the coding, maybe you can start contributing as a managing or the helping the coordinating the team. So I think there's a community called Libra office. So there was not just a coder. So there were the people who was working handling the group or just trying to contribute in the Nepali local community. So yeah, definitely if you involve in the open source project, you will get a hands-on skills. On top of that, you will get a mentoring and the networking that will definitely help you to breathe with the tech industry. And the second part, contributing to the tech community. So volunteering is all about nothing. If you talk about the monetary side, so it's all about without any direct benefit, you contribute to the tech community that will eventually help you on other side rather than the monetary. And first and foremost, I always advocate that tech community help you in soft and hard skill. And there's a soft skill, there's a hard skill, and there's a networking and the exposure. So definitely it will help you with your soft skill. So talking about myself, maybe I was bit, I would be hesitate if I have to come to this stage back in 5 years ago. So definitely, I try to attend different kind of events. Eventually, I try to organize those events, and eventually I try to lead or even give us talk in the different tech communities. So first and foremost, it will help you get your soft skill. Later on, definitely, if it's a tech community, you will get a technical knowledge, and that will lead you to have a good knowledge in your hard skill. Maybe if you join AWS Cloud Club, you will get a hands-on skill on AWS. If you join Ubuntu Nepal, you will get knowledge on open source and the different open source related project. So those will happen if you join tech community. On top of that, the expository network is very, very important. So there's a one example. So I will take time for this. So this is important. I want to light on how networking is important. So back, I think 2-3 months back, so I applied for a PM job role in AWS India, and I applied from myself from the portal. I applied filling all these forms, and later on I reached out to people from AWS whom I know, and I told them, so I have applied for the job in AWS India. Can you connect me or can you refer me? And she told me, okay, so these are the field you need to fill. So she sent me a Google Sheet. I fill all the details she asked me. And then after 2 days, she told me, so you have already applied for that job. I am not able to apply for a job from your point. So if you have a good network, even you don't have to apply job by yourself. So someone else can apply your job from like a referral. It's not like a referral you keep in your CV. They can apply job by themselves for you. So if you have good network, this is the power of network you can get. So definitely, and I think there's a resource, 75 of the opportunity regarding the job and company private collaboration, 75 of the opportunity goes with networking. I mean, if you have good network, most of the businesses and the job hiring are done by the networking. It's not a bad though. But yeah, that you will get from the involving in tech community or knowing the people that are in the tech community. So yeah, that is all.
We have a committee in Gnome as well, which is called the Gnome Internship Committee. And this is our purpose. Like what you are asking us right now is what our purpose is to tell to other people as well that, hey, open source is not just about that you will be left unemployed and you will just live a lonely life. It is also more about that you get opportunities as well, and you won't live a sad life in front of a computer. So quickly by examples, like when I was doing the engineering, I did my first GSOC. It helped me pay a lot of my fees. It also helped me get some more technical gadgets. Then I did my second GSOC at Chromium, where I was able to buy myself a new laptop, again earn some money towards my fees, and also having the bragging right to say all your devices use my code. So that was a great thing which you can like say in your interviews, like not this frankly, but you can tell them that, hey, I have contributed to these big projects, so yours I can definitely handle. And that is the thing with open source, that I got a lot of job offers through other companies on my LinkedIn. So before even I graduated, I had like, I think 5 job offers at the time, and I chose the one where I gave interview myself. But there, though they asked about my open source journey. They asked, why are you contributing? What are you contributing to? I told them about everything which I've done, what I'm doing right now, and they were really excited about it because they wanted people interested in open source to join their company because they've worked on open source technologies. And they were like, we don't want to just use it, we also want to contribute back to it. And you can only do it if the employees are interested in it and if they are really passionate about it. So yes, open source does let you like get the doors open. I now know a lot of people around the world. I've talked with them, heard their stories, heard a lot about how it all started, what everybody has done, their contributions. I have got offers, I have got employment through it, and it created, as he also said previously, that it also helps you in your soft skills, because I was a very very big introvert. I think the only time I set myself on stage was for the assembly for the national prayer in high school, and that didn't went very well, I would like to say. But and then the second time I set myself on stage was at Nom Asia in Malaysia at my first international talk, giving a talk in front of a lot of strangers. So that is how it transitioned me from a big introvert who can't even talk to people to presenting to events, traveling alone, and just it grown me. So yeah, it helps you in a lot of ways, technical, non-technical, in terms of your network and also in terms of the job opportunities that you're eligible for. So I would say that you won't die alone. Open source does help.
Yes, they have seen they have participated in a project at first. In they started. Some were in the beginning. They were discovered by Avik, and he has introduced them to build the open source project, and then I have continued to give them some issues to work on, and so they learned the first steps into coding. And when we have seen who was good in we gave them one of our projects, and then they started. And on the other side, with the conferences also, we got some very enthusiastic ones who showed up voluntarily and asked me to introduce them, to give them issues that they could start to learn about open printing. And these ones who and one for example, I offered him some different projects. It was not in the Google Summer of Code. It was long before it was in the end of 2024. And then he started voluntarily working on the KDE print manager to make it ready for CUPS 3.x, because in CUPS 3.x we have a major change in the architecture, and this requires changes in all GUI tools. And he was then really enthusiastically working even without Google Summer of Code. And when the Google Summer of Code this year started, we turned it in a Google Summer of Code project to give him the possibility to work for some time full-time on it. and do not need to care of how to pay his bills for 3 months, and it seems that in the end we will have a really nice result. And also generally, when you have Google Summer of Code students, many do their project and seems also that they like to do their project, but when the project ends, they go away, which is not good, because then we do not have anyone for our developer community, and also the work needs to be maintained. And others, they continue with us, with the project even, they continue also working on the project when the Google Summer of Code is over. And they are usually students in colleges, and they do the Google Summer of Code after their second or after their third year, and then they voluntarily stay with us. Perhaps some even do two Google Summer of Codes with us. But when they come to the end of their course, after the fourth year, when they do the final examination, then they get their first day job, and this makes many people, unfortunately, stopping to continue, because probably their day is filled with their day job, and then and it's usually an IT job, and then after this work, they probably do not so much like to volunteer working on another coding project. Unfortunately, this is a little bit sad that that it's not so easy to get someone for long term.
Yes, I will probably like speak from, I guess, contribution side of things,
Yep.
as in the value that it adds and why you should not just contribute just because you are doing like a fellowship or like GSOC and just continue doing that. So I just have like one story to share. So there was this one time I was like trying to contribute to this project called Spiking Neural Network. And it has to do with like building a neural network around how human brain works. So trying to like simulate the very similar like things like how a neuron works, how like electric spikes happen and communications happen. So I was working with the maintainer there, and I was really finding it hard to like grasp the concept of like how this thing even works. And I remember, like, I just texted him, like, hey, like, this looks very interesting, but I literally have zero idea on where I should even get started with it. And I was hoping that he would probably share some, like, I don't know, like, any resources that I can just learn by myself and then, you know, like, start contributing. But he basically said, like, hey, like, here is my calendar link. Just schedule a call. Let's get on a call, and I'll just give you, like, I'll just share whatever I know. And we sat on like 2-3 hours call where he literally gave me like human brain 101 and just told me a lot about how this whole thing works. And I think I learned so much from that. So it's like, it really helps you as you're collaborating, no matter whether you are like a beginner or someone who have been in the industry for a long time, there's always something you'll get to learn and know as you're contributing to the project. So yeah, I mean, it's not, yes, it definitely helps you with networking. It helps you with, you know, like just meet people. And obviously it looks really good on resume too. But more on that, like it just really helps you to build your skill set. You get mentorship, you get people, you get to work with people, you know, and then like discuss things with them. So you just learn so much on the process. So there's just so much benefit when it comes to like, that you get after contributing to open source.
All right.
And the way I go around with like contributing to open source these days are like I try to like, these days it's not like I'm like actively looking into contributing to it. There's certain like open source tools that I use in my company. Like we use like Avo and a lot of other tools that are fully open source. And there are times when like we're trying to use certain feature in that project and it does not exist. And that means that you either have to go in there and then kind of like, you know, just raise an issue. So when you are already using that project yourself, to some extent, it's, you know how that code base works, how the APIs looks like. So that has really helped me. But I guess another thing, like if you are looking into contributing to some projects that you have not really explored too much, I would say like just start exploring it, like try to use like certain APIs of it. And then just you leverage the community. Like most of open source projects are very active. They are either active on Slack, Discord, like they have the community there. So just ask questions there, and I'm pretty sure like people there would be more than happy to kind of like help you, guide you through like the process, like where you should even start looking from. So just leverage the community that is there.
Using the software is the best way to contribute to it. So if you would like, you open the issues and you're not able to understand like where it's originating from or what it can be, first install the software, use it for a couple of days, maybe try to understand the flow of a normal user, how the user interacts with the application, what they usually do in their life. Then try to replicate the issue yourself. That are you also facing the same issue? Can you replicate the issue yourself as well? Then for finding like certain sections where like if you want, okay, I want to search for this top bar right side section. So there are ways which I like follow is, if it's a website, you inspect and you see the divs and you see if there's any class attached to it, and you search for that in the code base through your IDE and check where that certain section is getting made. Then you can dissect inside it that, okay, this class is being called here, here, here. In these functions, it is being referenced. So the code which belongs to this might be in these sections. So it bifurcates your searching area. If it's an application, then if it's like a GNOME application, you can use GTK inspector for the same thing, or you can see the strings. So like a button is called press me for UbuCon or whatever. You can just search for that string exactly in your text editor, and then you will see, okay, this is where the string is being set. So this is where the button is being made. If the button is being made, then the section of that would be around here only. Then you can start to dive deeper into it, that okay, this is where my problematic code might be, and then you start to bifurcate and see what might be causing the certain issue you want to solve. And the other part, she said again, the community side of it. You can always ask the maintainers, you can ask the community people, and they just want you to show enthusiasm. That if they are spending their time letting you know that, then you will utilize their time, and then you will bring up a solution, or you will try to work on it as much as you can. So that's all I think they expect from it in the return.
I would like to answer first question. Definitely. So regarding the volunteering part, there's a two part. So if you are still in college, so it's the best time to do volunteering, because you do not okay. He's not a student. Students.
Yes,
So if you still are in college, this is the best time to volunteer. You get to work with the project where you can actually get the experience that are being used in the industry. And definitely, if you volunteer full time, you are going to die hungry. That's for sure. But the best part is, if you are still in the college, you do not have that kind of responsibility you need to carry. So keep contributing, volunteering on different tech-related projects, and that will definitely help you build all the things I have mentioned, all your soft skill, hard skill, and networking. And for the professional, as a professional, I am volunteering on a different kind of projects in tech. These give me sense of belongings as a social animals, and also as a professional life, you got good pretty much time on your weekend or the off time you can actually utilize for the volunteering, because as already mentioned, networking is the key. Please remember that number. 75% of the job opportunities and the company collaboration is done through the networking. So it's a data. So if you keep contributing, you got to know with the community people, and not just a community that are volunteering. In community, there will be a professional, there will be a person, there will be a students, professional. Maybe there will be a VCs, there will be the computer company's founder. So you never know whom you can stuck with and got the good opportunity. So yeah, keep contributing, keep volunteering.
So same thing from my side as well, that volunteering is a process. It's not a one-stop journey kind of thing where if you volunteer, then there's no nothing which can go after it. With volunteering, which I have seen is the best volunteers are those who do it because they love it. And I think even with Linus Torvalds, he once said that, why is Linux so successful? He said because people contributed to it for themselves. They contributed not because there's some company who is paying them just for doing this, or they are being forced to do it. They are doing it because they want to improve it for themselves. In that journey, they also are showcasing their skills to potential maybe employers, potential opportunities, and then they come and they say, okay, this person's working so hard, then these all people. So why not maybe they can be a part of our team. Many people in Gnome are working with Red Hat. A lot of them, if you hear their story, they will be like, yeah, I was contributing to this certain package and Red Hat team noticed it and they were like, hey, would you like to do it full time for our company? A lot of people in many other companies as well, they are many open source companies like Scothing, Igalia, you have Canonical, Red Hat, they're endless. There are a lot of companies which really see that passion in you, that why are you contributing, what are you contributing to? And the volunteer stress is mostly when it's not leading to something which is what you want in your life. Like I still volunteer not because of let's say I'm getting paid by this, and are you guys getting paid for this conference? No, right? But I'm asking Japan. But the thing is, why still we are organizing it? I am not organizing it for India anymore. So why am I being a part of the community? It's because I like it. When I meet these people, when I talk with them, when we communicate with each other, it is the community side, the love of the people that really encourages you to continue marching through. And yes, that love won't put food on your table, but that love might encourage somebody else to put food on your table. Yeah. So it's part of the process.
So I guess I'll start with the first question about volunteering. So I'll speak. I think both of them kind of like covered on like why you should volunteer. But I kind of like want to come from a point of like, as a community builders, like, do we have any other community builders in the crowd? Can I get like show of hand? Well, we have few. Maharshi, come on, like you need to. We have some. Like, so basically, like as someone who is like building or trying to build a community, and we're literally operating on like zero budget. We don't have any budget. And when I wanted to start CNCF Kathmandu, I was like, so CNCF Kathmandu existed, but then it was in dormant states, and then I had to like reopen it. I was like, there was no one like I was working with or collaborating with to do that. And kind of like I was just doing it solo, and then I just tried to find like anyone in my network, just reached out to them, hey, like I'm doing this, do you want to like join? And they were like, yeah, sounds interesting, I will, right? So that happened. But then, well, they were not interested in CNCF, right? Like the way I was. And because of that, like they lost interest. But then as we were doing this event, a lot of folks just reached out to me, like saying, hey, like just saw you doing this like event. How can I be a part of this team? And I was like, hey, just join. So like they, so basically it just came from a point that they really were into like CNCF and wanted to like contribute. But more than that, there was also certain, so every time like I have someone join the team, I always ask them like, what are you looking for, looking in it, right? So for some of them, it might just be like, they want to grow their public speaking skills. For some, it probably can just be they want to network more. And as I'm like building this community, I'm very, very like deliberate about like making sure that they get the space that they wanted and why they decided to join the community, as in if they are someone, if they wanted to join this community because they wanted to improve their public speaking skill, every time we do an event, they would be the one hosting the show, right? So as a community builder, I think that's one thing that we can do is just making sure that we open space, we give them space, and even if we cannot pay them, at least we can like help them build their skill, which will eventually help them like get something that actually pays, right? So I guess that is one thing. Like when it comes to open source, you really cannot force people to do it. You just really need to find people who are just as much passionate about whatever you're doing. That is like, yeah. And then and for folks who want to join the community, just try to find community that you are passionate about. Just don't follow, like, just because your friend decided to join XYZ community, don't join that. Like, just ask yourself whether you are also passionate on that, because that is something that will help you, like, you know, just maintain that consistency when it comes to, like, contributing to that community. So coming back to my second question, women in tech. Well, I guess being women in tech is definitely, like, means that you are a minority group, right? I mean, I remember, like, when I was doing my computer engineering, we were in my class of 60. It was like only 7 of us were girls, right? So it's obviously, like, the tech field, or I would say the STEM field itself, is kind of like marketed. I would not say marketed, but there's just a stereotypical belief that this field is, like, dominated by male and only male can do really good in it. And I honestly think that's not true. I have seen amazing women, like, literally killing in this. Like, I guess I'll just give an example of one of our keynote speaker today. Like, she was amazing, right? So I guess we don't have as big representation as the male counterpart does, but that I definitely think a lot of us are doing really good. And we have a lot of communities that are actively working on, like, making sure that there is a proper, like, ecosystem mentorship that is getting provided. Like, we have Nepali women in computing, women in Tech Nepal, and these are the community that is operating locally, but there are, again, a lot of global communities. So for any women in the crowd, I would say just join the community. Again, I think this is something that I say quite a lot, but just leverage the community. We all have, and especially if you're joining, like, women in tech communities, we all are, and we all usually go through, like, similar, like, stuff, like, similar difficulties, and, you know, sometimes just talking helps. Yeah, I guess. So yeah, I mean, they might have, like, gone through the same thing, so they can provide, like, the folks in the community can provide you some, like, better mentorship. So yeah, just join the community for sure.
So I think I understood your question. So you are asking, you initiated one open source project and you want to include other people as well, right? So the first thing is you need to reach out to community. People might search about the about open source project, but people in the community might not know about you are actually working on that project. So first, and the direct answer is reach out to community. Maybe there are open source community or the other community as well. So maybe they can bridge you with the right person. So this is my answer. So I think I answered your question, and this is direct answer to.